Hello again everyone! Welcome back to more Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. So in the last episode we left off at this fog gate. So let's see what's up ahead. Let's just prepare ourselves just in case it will be a boss fight. So I'm changing out my Hornet's ring for the Ring of Steel Protection. Everything else is, I guess, doable. So let's see what's up ahead. When this is a boss fight, oh I guess it is. Kinda looks like overkill, but okay. Okay, and this Knight Artorias looks a bit weird, kinda like some sort of bird looking dude. And this was actually one of the hardest fights I've had to fight, mostly because of some limiting factors. One, as you can see, there is some lag that never helps. Two, this guy can hit hard and is actually pretty fast, so he can kill you in 2 or 3 hits. And as you can see, he also has good range. Yeah, I hate that his thrust attack, because it's probably one of the harder ones to dodge for me personally, just because you're kind of waiting for him to do all of his other attacks, which are a bit slower, but his thrust attack is fast, so I died pretty easily there. So I died quite a few times to this dude, and this is basically the biggest reason why I've been taking so long to release this video. So I tried so many different things. My weapon, if you saw just now, did crap damage. Did the Kelog's Fury Sword. Even two-handed it did crap damage. So I had to, luckily I had this scythe plus 10, which I already had in preparation because I wanted to get the Life Hunt scythe. But thankfully it does a good amount of damage when I two-wield it. Oh yeah, wield it with 2 hands. And as you can see, sometimes the other thing is that his moves Artorias' moves can track a bit as well, so that makes it a bit hard. You have to really time your dodging and whatnot. And this particular attack, he does it a maximum of 3 times, where he sort of like jumps around. So you can't really attack after 1 or attack after he does it a second time, because he could always do it again, and if he does, it does take a bit of life away from you. As you can see, that's the maximum. He does his 3, so maybe he runs out of stamina or something like that, so you can counter attack then. If you counter attack any other time after his first or second jump, you're risking it. You're risking getting attacked basically. And sometimes he mixes it up with that thrust attack that sometimes would hit me because it's just fast. And he has this other special jump attack where it can also track, so you have to really just run at him. Because if you run, and you have to run quickly, because if you don't get close enough, he can still hit you. He won't jump over you, he will just jump at you. So he's got all these mixes of attacks. Some are very linear, some are horizontal, so you gotta just keep trying to evade. And using your shield is somewhat useful. Some of his attacks will eat through your shield, some won't. But it's basically, it's too hard to, it's not too hard, it's just basically a bit too annoying to figure out which ones do which. And that particular attack, sometimes when you dodge to the right, it won't hit you, sometimes it will. And what he's doing here is actually he's building himself up to become more powerful. And not only that, when when he gains his power, he sort of makes a short or small explosion, so if you're too close to him, it blows you away. And that's the thing I didn't realize when I was first playing, was that one of the other reasons why it was so hard for me was because he kept getting stronger as the battle wore on, and that's because I just let him do that. I didn't bother, you know, interfering with him, because, you know, usually I was like far away from him anyway. So, but once I figured out that you can actually interrupt his power-up process and basically keep him at the same level of strength throughout the whole fight, I became much more confident that I could beat him. And I only needed like only the second or third try after realizing that you could interrupt him, I finally beat him. And you also, what that means also is that you need to kind of stay close to him, measure your distance, not be too far away, because if you're too far away when he does that power up thing, kind of so as you can see, he kind of points it out that he will do it. You just gotta really attack him. I need to attack him 3 times. I just didn't manage to do it there. And as you can see, he did that small explosion that took away some damage, and I just sort of got caught up in the moment and died. I'm also wearing as you might also realize that my life and stamina bar is way higher than it was when I first fought this guy, because I didn't level up. I just equipped the Ring of Favor and Protection and equipped the Mask of Mother that I got from Pinwheel, and that basically increases my chances basically. So this guy is pretty tough, especially if you don't interrupt his power up abilities, because he can one-hit kill you depending on your health. He can one-hit kill you, especially after he powers up for a second time. He tends to do it after like the first power up tends to happen after a quarter of his life is gone. The second one tends to happen after half his life is gone. He does it again after that, but that one's a bit more. I don't think it happens at a 3/4 life bar. I think it just happens randomly whenever he wants it to happen, I think. And even if you interrupt him, I think that sometimes it doesn't follow sequence, because if you interrupt him, he'll try to find opportunities to do it anyway. So you just gotta avoid him, avoid his attacks. Once you get his attack pattern down, the thing is, luckily this weapon has I changed it around, and I did a normal attack first and then a strong attack, and his strong attack sort of like hits 2 times with the side basically. So that helped me overcome the problem of having trouble interrupting him. I could basically always interrupt him then. So this weapon really helped me out, this side here. Although I still want to upgrade it into a life hunt side, and maybe after looking at some stats, I think the great side is a better weapon for a dexterity build, because it scales better with dexterity, whereas this particular weapon, the base damage is higher than a great side, but it doesn't scale as well. So I think I might change this one into a life hunt side, and if I have enough souls, I'll upgrade the great side, although I don't have it yet. So, and I think you have to find one at the catacombs. That's a bit irritating. But anyway, back to this fight. So yeah, so long as you don't allow him to power up, you should be fine. That's the biggest thing I'd say personally. And sometimes his attacks, as you can see, they can track, and they also, the damage they do kind of differs depending on where you are or how you time your dodge rolls. Dodge it well, you miss, and you can see sometimes you get hit. Sometimes that 3 attack thing, if he hits you with the first attack and then does it 2 more consecutive times, you can't avoid it. You just get smacked down to the ground 3 times. Maybe if you have good poise you can, but if you've changed yourself up like I have 0 poise at this moment in time, you get hit 3 times in a row. It's pure ownage really, more than anything else. You just get owned. So yeah, his jumping attack is one of the best attacks to counter with. That's the other problem. He doesn't have many attacks to counter with, and even then you have to do it quickly. You have to be really close to him to counter, because he'll get a can get in an attack to interrupt you if you don't counter in good time. So if he does it 3 times, you can get in a good counter because he won't hit you for a 4th time. And this attack as well you can counter, and his jumping attack you can counter. Those are the 3 main, or that one and his slide attack, slide forward attack, you can counter really well. And I guess the other good thing about stopping his power up process is that you get hits in anyway, so you get a good amount of damage. Yeah, I hate that thrust attack. It just is. It's probably his fastest attack. So plus it has really good range. So sometimes you might think it won't hit you, but it does. So let's try to avoid getting hit again, I guess. Oh, you see how that tracked. So you know, just a few mistakes, or just not even really mistakes. You know, just bad timing, and you're almost dead. So yeah, that's a good opportunity. I just mistimed my run and jump that I missed. So here, see, it's a good opportunity to hit him. I'm not sure how much damage you have to do to interrupt him, but it seems like 3 hits from this particular weapon will interrupt him, and that's just me considering the strong attack as 2 hits, 2 in 1 basically. So now I'm a lot more confident because I have his life down really low. He's not powered up, so he can't kill me in 1 hit, because that's what was happening basically. You know, during the times where I get his life down to less than half, he would 1-hit kill me, especially when I didn't have the Ring of Favor of Protection and the Master Mother on. Damn! Luckily he didn't follow that up. So basically, what I was trying to do when he was jumping, doing his medium jump attack, is I was just always trying to... I didn't mind allowing him to level up this time because he's almost dead, and his first level up isn't that strong. It's still stronger than his beginning strength, but it's not. You definitely don't want him to power up 2 times. That's the most important thing, because his second power up is really strong. And we did it! Sweet! We killed Artorias. That was a pain in the ass of a fight. It was a hard one. I died to him so many times. But yeah, once you kind of figure out that you can stop his leveling up, it becomes a lot easier, I'd say. So still mad respect for the boss fight. It was really fun. Just some issues here and there. Lag didn't really help, and also I kind of hate my controller because the way the guy jumps around, sometimes you were rolling backwards when you wanted to roll left and right. It's just getting used to things, really. But it can be done, and that was really fun. It was hard. I imagine if you did it without stopping him powering up, that's even harder. I think the other thing about his power up is that his tracking is better as well, and so his area of because sometimes he has a small area of effect with his attack. So if you roll what usually misses, sometimes it hits when he's powered up. That may just be me, but that's how I kind of felt. But yeah, so happy that I finally defeated him. It took me so many tries. This is the main reason why this playthrough has been slow. Hopefully we can learn from it. And thankfully I had that weapon, and to deal enough damage. I mean, my Quelax Fury Sword was doing 70 two-handed, and my Estoc was doing even less. So he's probably very resistant to elemental weapons, or it's just that elemental weapons are really weak in this version of Dark Souls now, which is probably the case actually. So this video I'll extend it a bit more just to show you a few things here and there about this section of the game. some interesting things here and there. First up, so we've got like 3 paths here, one to the left, one to the right, and one straight ahead. Imminent dark wraith, so perhaps if we were in human form we'd get invaded or something, maybe? Be interesting. And there's a bonfire here, so that's sweet. So that means we can rest easy. I've got 50,000 souls. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it at this moment in time. I won't use it in this episode yet. I can only level up by probably either 2 or 3 times given my current level. So it depends. I could also upgrade a weapon. Looks like there's a path here, so it looks like this is the main way we need to go. So we'll leave that for now. Well, there's also that path in the forest that went down below that I didn't take, so you know, there's some option here of where you want to go. I could also, I'm not sure if you guys can hear, but there's also some sort of like noises in the background, like voices or something, which made me wonder, was like someone invisible or something? So you can see I got a few things I can do. I can upgrade more weapons. Like I'm thinking of upgrading my Uchigatana. That's one thing I could do. I was also thinking of upgrading a bow, because bows scale really well with dexterity up to, you know, S level. Well, some bows do, not all, but some do. So I was thinking, you know, I might as well, you know, get a bow and, you know, utilize it. For instance, in that previous boss fight, you know, having a range attack. Oh, that boss fight would have been so easy with magic, man. You know, having been a magic user in both Demon Souls and the original Dark Souls, that fight would have been so easy, especially with homing Soul Mass or homing Crystal Soul Mass. You know, even Soul Arrow, just because his dodging happened when he was close to you. You know, he didn't really dodge when he was far away from you. You would have gotten more hits in and such. So yeah, I can only upgrade or level up 2 levels. So, you know, it's kind of iffy. You know, should I mean, I'd love to have more vitality. Have, especially now that I have the Ring of Favor and Protection on, I don't really need to put stats into endurance. But, and I don't really need to put stats into vitality either, so I could use my souls for other purposes, which is basically upgrade weapons. There's that. But the thing is, you need Titanite chunks to upgrade a normal weapon past plus 10, and I don't really have many Titanite chunks. So this dude down there was the one that was making the noise, I think. Oh, and he's seen me. He's coming up. It's the same kind of dude that Artorias killed at the beginning of the fight. So maybe Artorias wasn't evil. Well, technically he shouldn't be. I mean, you know, after hearing the legend of Artorias in the first game, or sorry, in the original version, to find out that he's, you know, succumbed, I guess, to the abyss is kind of sad. But at least, you know, at least it was a fun fight. And here I just use humanity because I decided to go into human form just to see what's up, what's available, you know, if there's anything different. If, you know, that Dark Wraith comment meant that I'd get invaded, although, you know, you tend to not get invaded near the bonfire. So yeah, my Quelaag's Fury Sword and my Lightning Estoc, they they do good damage against normal enemies. It was just that in that particular fight it was crap damage. So let's check out one of these paths. We got some messages here. Let's see what this is. We've got some bonfire looking things. Ah, Battle of Stoicism. Stoicism. Well, that's, if I'm not mistaken, is the online battle play element in the game, where you can do 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, PvP arena basically, which I think the game really needed. And I would do it, probably do it if it wasn't too laggy. But you know, playing online also has its increases the lag, so yeah. So let's just see what's up here, if there's anything interesting. I can hear some sort of like noise. Is that like a, sounds like a blacksmith? This path is a dead end. And so let's see if there's anything here. Does sound like a blacksmith. But the door is locked, so we'll come back later for that. And we have an item, sweet. Soul of a hero. I think that gives you a decent amount of souls actually. 10,000 maybe? Good to know, good to know. So that's up there, I guess we can't do much here. Let's check out this Battle of Stoicism arena. So Battle of Stoicism is only available online. There are 3 types of battles: duel, team, and deathmatch. Deathmatch is 4v4. That doesn't make sense. I think what they mean is 1v4 basically. So it's not like 8 people in one ring, I think. So I think the maximum is only 4. So basically free for all, I think. I could be wrong. So you've got all the leaderboards as well, just to show off. It looks like you've got 2 different sections you can fight in, and 3 game styles: 1v1, 2v2, and 4v4. Now maybe that 4v4 is team deathmatch, I don't know. Maybe it's free for all. Oh yeah, and you may be wondering where I got this clothes from. And this is it. I decided to attack this merchant because 1, I was getting annoyed continuously dying to Artorias, and 2, because he sounded evil. He sounded like a bad dude.
You win, please. Oh, please. Have mercy.
Might be a waste, might be a bad idea, but who cares? He's just a merchant. And you get all his armor. Too bad you don't get anything else. And so here, let's just check out his armor's stats. It's nothing much, I don't think. The main thing is that he has bleed and poison resist throughout all his armor. He doesn't have much. He doesn't have a sort of like an innate attribute to his armor. And the hat has a smiley face on it, Joker style smiley face, which means I probably won't wear it, especially if it doesn't give you any benefits. So yeah, just the same thing. It just has a good amount of bleed and poison resistance basically. overall it's still weaker than the crimson robes, but hey, you make do. It looks cool. But yeah, so that's it for this episode. Most of it was taken up by fighting Artorias, but I also just showed you some of the section here in this area. So I haven't used my 50,000 souls yet. Might not show what I do with it. I'll just show you whenever I continue from this area. So thanks for watching. If there's not too much lag, see you next time.